Massive back game. Okay.
You want games? Jaguar's got fast 3D 64-bit games. You want slow, flat games? No. Slow is for turtles, flat is for boards, fast and 3D is for games. Jaguar games. So scary you'll cry like a whimpering fool. But you won't feel like a fool because the games won't be flat and slow, flat, slow, flat, slow. Heard enough and get fast and 3D. Games that are now playing, games that are coming soon. Games that get a 10 because they've got a good beat and you can dance to them. You want fast 3D games? Here's an idea. Atari Jaguar, 64 bits, $159. Yeah, $159. Do the math. Let's see what this TV can do.
hunted them for centuries, searched for the destructive evidence of their presence in the spaces between the stars. For eons you have followed, and they have always eluded you, until now. Now now you will face your most ancient enemy in a battle for the soul of a star.
Have you tried it?
Not yet. I'm done.
Okay, here we are at E3 with Dean Fox, who's the Executive Vice President of Marketing at Atari. I'm sorry, Senior Vice President of Marketing at Atari. He's recently joined Atari. Can you tell us about what your past experience is in video game marketing?
I've actually been with Atari in the original Warner days and spent some time with them at that time running their advertising. Since then I've worked at Sega and helped start a company called Rocket Science.
What was Rocket Science responsible for?
Rocket Science was a new Hollywood, Silicon Valley startup. Very big funding, very big expectations, very exciting software.
How would you compare working with Sega to working for Atari? What are the differences that you see? What are the benefits and drawbacks on both sides?
Well, clearly, because Sega is a Japanese company, working with a Japanese company involves a great deal more trans-Pacific diplomacy. Atari being an American company based right here in Sunnyvale, California, it's pretty easy. Everything's in one building. You can talk to everyone you need to talk to manufacturing, make things happen much faster.
Given that the Ultra 64 has been pushed back till '96, that leaves the Jaguar sort of as the sole contender in the lower price range of the next generation systems. How does Atari see that as an advantage, and what is going to be done to exploit that in marketing terms?
Well, I think it's very rare in marketing or business in general to get an opportunity like this. Frankly, there is no alternative to Atari under $300. There are a great many people who are not going to pay $300 for a game system. So it's fairly easy to exploit. We have a great system, we have great software, and we have the best price in the business.
Are we going to be seeing any more national TV ads or even local TV ads for out of the LA area?
Our advertising program is going to be the largest in Atari's current history. Very significant advertising. You'll see it everywhere. It's a national program. It involves network television, spot television, cable television, consumer print, and radio.
One of my last questions, and it's a self-motivated one. I realize Atari has plans to get on the net and possibly do a worldwide web page. What is Atari planning to get out of the World Wide Web page and the rest of their net access? And how does marketing fit into it?
Well, historically, Atari's had a very faithful, loyal following of people from the computer days as well as the game 2600 days. And that following continues to be at the forefront of web activity. So we realize we want to keep our communications with those people as broad and deep as we can make them. The web is definitely a part of that picture. We want to let these people know because they're the ones who will spread the word about Jaguar.
Is there anything else that you'd like to share with the people at home regarding Atari's future and your plans and how you fit into Atari?
Well, I think if you look at the overall package of Atari products, including VR, which is definitely a breakthrough, we have the fastest tracking mechanism ever made, and at a target price point of $300 for a home system, we'll be the first in the home with real VR, immersive VR, not black and white, not non-immersive VR, but real arcade-style VR. Once you've played these games, you don't want to play any other kind of games. It's a much better experience. Jaguar will deliver so much more in terms of CD and JagLink, which is a way to play two Jaguar systems, one to another, Jag modem, 6-button controllers. We've got many, many new products coming, and it'll be a very exciting year for Jaguar.
I certainly hope so. Thank you very much, Gene.
This is the Jaguar VR system that we've been developing. Basically, as you can see, we have a helmet design or a headset design. We have sort of 3 special parts on this system: the optical system, the tracking system, and also the acoustic system. In terms of the tracking system, we have probably the world's highest performing tracking system, even though it's a consumer unit. This unit actually performs to a higher specification than even the industrial systems that we use in our high-performance arcade systems. And in that context, we're able to not only track the headset in real time, in fact it's at about 200 hertz, but we're also able to track joysticks as well. So that's going to provide a real richness of functionality for the unit. The second key thing is in the optics. We have a very special optics design that really utilizes the full power of the LCD display technology in here. And in that context, the system provides a very wide field, about 52 degrees, high quality color image in the unit. So obviously it means that you don't have to have your TV set anymore. And
what is the degree of the field of view on your arcade systems?
In comparison to the field of view on the arcade system, we're running at about 70 degrees on the arcade system. So this is 52 degrees. So it's a little bit less, but nonetheless, from a high-quality LCD system at this price point, it's revolutionary. The third main feature is the acoustic system, and we're using some special loudspeaker technology that actually comes very close to one of the bones on the head, and that allows for us to get quite good acoustic response in the unit. So basically you get fabulous 16-bit and 32-bit sound. Added to the unit is the microprocessor over here, which calculates all the angles, etc., and manages the whole VR system. And basically you wear the system in front here. If I could show you, this is just the very first prototype, first time we've shown the system. So it's not in any way to be assumed that this is the production quality. But if we load up the game here, what I'll demonstrate to you, and it's only about 2 months old, this game, but you'll see just how fast and real time the tracking system is. This is the first game we're doing called Missile Command, and as you can see, the unit is extremely responsive, and basically if you play the game, you can see that you can track very effectively and in real time, which is the first time this has ever been done at these sort of price points. And you see that you have a full-blown VR system here for the consumer.
And you say this game is only 2 months into development?
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. Now, the processing unit these processors work in conjunction with the Jaguar processors?
That's right. Yeah, we have a very high-performance DSP link between the two systems, and as I say, the tracking system inside here you can see is all these little sensors here. The mathematics in this is taken nearly a year to develop, just for the mathematics. So some real rocket science going on here.
Actually 2 last questions for you. How did Virtuality come to choose Atari as their platform, or did Atari come to you guys to see if you guys could do something for them?
Well, basically, it was really both companies coming together, and I think we were very concerned that in producing the cost of the headset system, we were still going to keep the cost of the product down to an appreciable level. And what you basically have here is a system that's, you know, $200 to $300 plus the unit, so under $400 the whole set. And this is the first time that we've been able to reach this price point. Price point is absolutely critical to get this unit up into the volume, to get the platform very spread. You know, obviously you need a whole product offering. And the Jaguar as a 64-bit system is the only product out there, $150 now on the street, is the only product out there with a necessary price point where the headset can be added and the total is not out of the range of the consumer.
I have to say, thank you very much, John.
Black unity. White. 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 White unity. Let's play ball, baby. Yo, take it. Open. Ooh. Ooh. Get off me, chump. Oh, man. Coming at you. Yo. Ouch. Here it comes. I'm open. You're too slow. Yo. Ouch. Sweet shot. Here it comes.
Get off me.
All rim. Yo.
Get off me. Get off me. Get off me.
Sweet shot. Comet. Here it comes. Get off me, chump. Oh, man. Hands on the rim. Yo, take it. Ooh, sweet shot.
And I say to you, my brothers and sisters, hell is a deep, dark, foul-smelling prison of the damned. Filled with fire and brimstone, lost souls and demons. And how do you escape this eternal damnation? You blast the nasty pink demons right between their beady little eyes.
Doom for the 64-bit Jaguar, the best Doom ever.
Target destroyed. Radar jamming activated. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Ammo acquired. Target destroyed. Primary target destroyed. Target destroyed. Ammo acquired. Target destroyed. Target destroyed. Reactive armor installed.
Whoa. Whoa.
Welcome to Nerf Max Force. Get ready for action as you enter the Max Force virtual training facility. Start by cranking out a barrage of darts with the awesome power of Razor Beast. Or let them all fly with the Sawtooth and reload a set of 5. Come in pumping and start them jumping with the 4-barrel bite of the Rattler. Take careful aim with the laser-guided sight of the Eagle Eye and always hit your mark. In the new Max Force video game, you'll encounter over a dozen different machines and have access to over a dozen actual Nerf devices to complete your missions. So grab your bazooka and pump away as the rotating turrets serve up a non-stop barrage of balls. It's enough power to turn any cyber snort unit into a pile of recycled junk. The Nerf Max Force video game. It's Nerf to the next power.
Oh, Bob, look! What do I think? I don't know.
What's the use of even trying? You can't get a break.
New Tempest 2000.
What's that?
Only on the Jaguar 64-bit by Atari. Do the math.
Hello and welcome to the E3 Expo from Los Angeles, California. My name is Jim Marsteller for AO Magazine, and with me is the one and the only Jeff Minder from Lamasoft. Jeff, how you doing?
Not so bad, thanks.
Now, how do you feel knowing that a lot of Jaguar owners regard you as the messiah of Jaguar programming?
Well, I don't know about that. I just try and do a good job whenever I can.
Well, we're going to take a look at some of the stuff Jeff has done. And my favorite soft of the entire show, believe it or not, is not a game, but it's actually the VLM, Virtual Light Machine. We've been hearing a lot about it. This is actually it. And let me tell you, it's just fascinating. Jeff, do you want to show us some of the different methods or the different modes that we have with VLM?
Sure. Well, there are 81 different effects arranged in 9 banks of 9 effects each. And if I just step through some of them here.
Yeah, I know the one that we saw on the Atari demo tape, the Atari dealer demo tape that was offered to a lot of the people before Christmas was nice, but it didn't really show off some of the stuff I saw at the show. Some of the things that I've been seeing today, I was like, wow. The VLM was an option where you could actually put audio and audio line directly into the VLM, so you didn't have to play a CD. Are they still talking about marketing that when the CD comes out?
Well, there's the design for that particular cartridge is done. Whether Atari will do it, I don't know. They're still thinking about it at the moment. If they don't do it, then probably the Virtual Light Company will.
Okay, so I guess we got to start sending our letters now. Defender 2000, you've got 2 modes operating right now. That's the Classic and the Defender Plus mode.
Yeah.
And you're kind of, how far are you with the 2000 version?
Well, most of the backbone of 2000 is in. The tiling generator for the parallax scrolling backgrounds is in. The perspective surface generator is in. The main sprite handling stuff is in. And the demo mode I've got, which is disabled in this version, is running 128 objects, full collision detection. You can fly the ship around, you can shoot at them. A lot of it there. The main reason they don't want me to show it at the moment is because some of the graphics are just placeholder graphics, and we don't really want to be showing it when people might get the wrong impression. But it's looking very sweet, 60 frames a second, larger play area, larger than the screen, vertical scrolling as well as horizontal scrolling. I'm very pleased with progress so far.
Okay, so we're still on schedule for fall release of the CD?
I hope so. I'm going to have to work my butt off, but that's what I'm aiming at.
Well, a lot of people are waiting for it, Jeff, so we got to work hard. Okay, we're going to try to see if we can step back and take a look at the game now. Could you just kind of like explain the different mechanics of what we got right here? Oh, there's Flossie. And Flossie says the work is in progress.
Isn't she lovely?
Absolutely gorgeous, Jeff. Absolutely gorgeous. You got to get her back here.
Yeah, well, as we're here at the start of Plus mode, I'll demonstrate Plus first.
Okay.
I'm going to start with the AI droids. That means you've got 2 little smart helpers which fly along with the ship, and they're much more intelligent than the droid was in Tempest, which just shot things. These guys will not only shoot things for you, they'll catch falling humanoids, they'll shoot landers that are taking away humanoids and pick the humanoids up and bring them back to your ship for you.
Great, let's see some.
Okay, let's go. A lightning laser, it's a very useful weapon. Got a lot of firepower.
Wow, it's really moving fast.
And the objective here is to try and keep 60 frames a second throughout the whole game.
Am I moving so fast? Am I moving so fast, keep 60 frames a second?
Yeah, we're going to keep 60 frames.
Now, what do you call this? No, in Tempest we called it Meltovision. What do you call these graphics effects that you're seeing back here, like the Aurora in the background?
The Aurora comes from the same school as Meltovision. I don't really know what to call it, I just call it the Aurora. But basically it's done by plotting a line of pixels with the intensity varying at the bottom, then scrolling it upwards whilst reducing the intensity. It's a very similar effect to Meltovision, but we can get it to run in phase mode, so it runs very quickly.
Almost looks like a psychedelic fire or something.
Absolutely. Well, I had a bit of bandwidth left over, so I thought might as well use it up in making it psychedelic, hence that and the little plasma down the bottom there.
Okay, for the diehard people, how about taking a look at the classic mode of Defender?
Yeah, you have one.
Okay, now this is classic Defender. As you can see, it's identical as far as I can remember back to the early 80s. Of course, I haven't played Defender in a long time, but I know Jeff has, since he has a full-size coin-op back at his pad.
And there may be a few minor tweaks to do to get it absolutely identical, but it's pretty much there right now.
How long did it take you to port the original game directly over to the Jaguar?
Oh, that was done in a couple of weeks. It was just a warm-up. I thought, might as well get the classic one going first. On a system as powerful as Jaguar, I mean, it's trivial.
Okay, well, you heard from the man himself. Jeff would like to thank you very much for talking to us, and we can't wait for Defender 2000. Thanks again.
Cheers.
We must stop the evil war machine that's crushing our cities, destroying our defenses, blowing up innocent trees. I'm trying, man.
Iron Soldier, only on the 64-bit Jaguar.
Attention Maverick Assault Commander. Your mission is to insert a combat squad of 4 troopers and conduct a search and destroy operation. A raiding party of Dalat commandos has attacked us. They hit the Fleet Transit Maintenance Complex on Regalon 3. The Dalat are preparing this location to be the base of operations for an all-out assault. If we don't recapture this planet, the entire star system could fall under their domination. Your primary objective is to locate the enemy force and destroy them. No prisoners. No quarter, just shake and bake. The only chance we have to mount an effective counterattack is to prevent the enemy from coordinating their forces in the sector. In addition, you are encouraged to lay waste to any and all military assets the enemy can make use of. I know this is a tough assignment, but you men are the best hope we have.
I'm a rangefinder.
Cargo bay airlock is damaged. Shield failure, starboard bow.
Short box, blow it open.
When authorized.
Hi there, we're here with Tim Huntsman from Beyond Games. They're the developers that are bringing us Ultra Vortex and eventually Battle Wheels for the Jaguar. We just have a few questions for Tim regarding Ultra Vortex and their work on the Jaguar. Tim, first question. Ultra Vortex has been in development a long time, and a lot of people are asking why. It seemed like it was done for quite some time, and we just wanted to know what were the improvements that you've made to make it that much better?
From start to finish, there were a couple of problems. One of them was with software itself, like development software that had to come up with a lot of things, you know, build it from the ground up. There's not a whole lot of things to help out programmers. At the time when we first got the development system, started working on it, and then as we were going along, we just figured out how to to digitize, get better imagery, and, you know, working with the hardware to be able to do more things, and, you know, figure out how to do the CD sound and, you know, good quality. And we just decided that we're not going to release a half-done crappy game, so, you know, it had to take a little more time, and we decided to take more time to finish it up.
Sounds like a good idea. The game plays really well. I understand you're responsible for at least the design and concept behind a lot of the game and the plot. What is it besides the concept work that you do at Beyond Games?
Kind of like the writer, the storyboarder, just concepts, ideas. I take care of a lot of like the PR work. I don't know, a lot of people have probably talked to on the internet, and, you know, stuff like that. So just kind of all around everything, but, you know.
Sounds good. One final question. Can you comment at all about what's coming up next for you guys and the Jag?
We're probably more than likely 99.9% sure that we're going to do Battle Wheels for it. Because I don't know, people that have played it on the links, it's a pretty fun game, especially playing a multiplayer. Since the Jag can network, and, you know, you can actually play Battle Wheels multiplayer, you know, like split screen, get 4 people going at one time.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sure people are really happy to hear that this is going to be out by the end of June, you said?
Yeah, hopefully. We'll be done with this in about a week and a half, so.
Thank you very much.
Try it again.
We're going to get direct video feed, but we don't know any special moves. We got to get the special moves. Alienation moves. That was a new background too, wasn't it? Oh, it's a secret. Too, if you're in the air and you're passing, pull down and hit, I think, you know, grab it.
Sound effect for light there.
That's the victory war. He's quietly contemplating his victory.
Yeah, the red sounds really cool.
Buzzsaw. Lucius. Bite. Buzzsaw is victorious.
Mid-left, tighten. 40.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
We have Scott Legrand and Stephanie, I'm sorry Steph, I can't pronounce you, Wukovitz from 4Play, who are here to show us their creation, Battlesphere. Scott, I'll let you take it away and start the description.
Okay, the premise of this game is that we have 7 alien races that were about to go to war in the galaxy, but they realized that if they went to war and destroyed the galaxy, there'd be nothing left to claim as the prize. So they decided to get in negotiations with the Earthlings and confine the hostilities to a region of space known as the Battlesphere, which is an ancient alien testing ground for weapons for the Earth race. So, each race sends its best military hardware to the Battlesphere for this competition. And within each race, their hardware consists of fighters, bombers, super ships, capital ships, and star bases. Now, we don't have any capital ships or star bases, but we do have the fighters, the super ships, and the bombers. And I'll run through them right here. The first race I'll discuss is the Telkinds. They're obsessed with the number 3, so the ship is sort of threefold. All of the ships are threefold, and they have this sort of funky purple and red color scheme. And you can see also here we have texture map logos and identification numbers. They'll all be 1 in this demo, but this will all be numbered according to your user number in network mode when it gets to that stage. The next race we have is the Slith. The Slith are snake-like races, so all of their ships have snake-like names and sort of have this snake-like head for a cockpit. Their logo is a snake. Another race we have is the Thunderbirds, named after one of our co-authors' handles. And their ships are all bird-like and have bird-like names. And this is the Falcon 303, which is sort of an in-joke. Okay, we also have an all-female race, and their logo is a sort of female symbol with an S on it. They're known as the Sabab. Okay, their other ships have more violent-sounding names, like the Blade, which sort of looks like a UFO.
Pick up the castrator.
It's still there, we're getting to it. We also have the Earthlings, and the Earthlings don't have the most advanced technology except for weaponry. So they've taken all of their existing technology and they've constructed ships by slapping, say, 18-wheeler trucks and Saturn V boosters together and incorporating alien technology to make them space-worthy. This is the cat-based race known as the Okatna, and their ships are fast and lightly armed, but very, very fast. Finally, we have an all-male race known as the Oppressors, and their ships are appropriately made to reflect the fact that they're all male. This is one of the female race's more violent-sounding ships. In fact, this is their super ship, the Castrator. Okay, this is another of the bird race's ships, the Vulture. This is their bomber. This is the snake race's fighter. It's known as the Cobra, as you can tell from the name here. The Earth race has a bomber based on the space shuttle known as the Pulverizer. The Earth race likes to make their ships sound really tough with these really mega tough sounding names like Pulverizer and Annihilator, despite the fact that really they're the worst ships in the game, and they're just sort of in this because they're really obsessed with weaponry, and all the other races realized if they didn't include the Earthlings, they'd probably blow the galaxy up with one of their doomsday devices. This is another one of the male race's ships, the Claw, animated. This is the Earthlings' best ship. Based on fighter technology, and this is the all-male race's best ship, the Penetrator. This is the snake race's the Slith best ship, the Constrictor, and this is the fighter for the Telkind, the race obsessed with the number 3. And you can do some nice, sort of nice pans with that.
You can see they put a lot of thought into the ship.
It's been a while. This is the bird race's super ship. Sort of looks like a Romulan bird of prey. And we're going to have drive flares and all sorts of things coming out of them in the final cut, but they're not there yet. And this is the cat race's super ship, the Ajax. It's named after Doug's cat, Ajax. And it sort of sounded right. And this is the Telekind Super Ship, the Triluminar. I really like this ship personally. Looks really different. I think we're going to make a capital ship that sort of looks like that for them as well. And those are the 21 ships you can get. Okay, so you want to demonstrate the gameplay?
Sure, I will. All right, so. Okay, the radar for flying around is just like X-Wings in that this is the fore radar, and it tells you what's in front of you. This is the aft radar, it tells you what's in back of you. To go, it flies like a flight simulator. Up is down and down is up, but it makes sense after a while. To turn, you push to the side, and you can also roll and accelerate forward and even backward, so that after a little bit of inertia, we'll start to go backwards. There we go. We're going backwards. Now I'll go after some ships and try to shoot at them.
Now, what are you using? What additional hardware is necessary for you to do networking?
For networking, the cat box will be necessary.
And can we take a look at one of the cat boxes?
Sure. Okay.
I had just asked what additional hardware was necessary for the networking, and I figured now would be a good time for you to give us some background on the cat box.
Sure. Cat box is audio, video, and communication device. You can see the ports back here. This over here is the video section. It's got composite video connector, the analog RGB connector, the S-video connector, and you can still use the RF connector on the Jaguar as well. All four of those can be used at the same time, so you can have separate video sources altogether. Then for audio, we have the standard RCA 600 ohm audio outputs that you can plug into your VCR or whatever stereo. We have two headphone jacks, so you can plug 3.5 millimeter or 1/8 inch headphones into it, and a volume control. It has a really good high quality CD type audio amplifier in it for headphones. And the communications are over here. We have a switch to control which port you're selecting. When it's down, it selects the bottom port, which is RS-232. That can be used with modems or a no modem cable. That's how we network Doom machines together. If it's in the middle position, that's for the DSP pass-through. Atari's voice modem or future devices will plug into that. And in the up position, it's CatNet. These two phone jacks are for CatNet. You don't actually ever plug these into the telephone system, but they use cheap telephone type cable to network up to 32 Jaguars with cat boxes together.
And how much does a cat box cost?
It's $69.95 retail, and this end plugs directly into the back of the Jaguar.
Now, where can I get my cat boxes? How do I order one?
Currently, we're shipping to a few select distributors, and they're getting out mostly to the small Atari Jaguar dealers. I doubt you'll see them in the bigger shops like Babbage's or EB until maybe October, November of this year, so Christmas season. At that point, they'll be in a plastic case. Right now, they're in this limited edition polished stainless steel case, which there's been pretty big demand for.
If I needed to call you to try and order a cat box, can I do that? Is there a number I can reach you at?
Sure, you can order directly from ICD, and the number is 815-968-2228 and extension 220.
To master Kazumi Ninja, and to defeat the evil ninja Gyaku, you need razor-sharp reflexes, superior strength, and a really good cheat sheet with all the death moves.
Kazumi Ninja only on the 64-bit Jaguar.
Yeah!
This is Blue Leader. I'm under attack. Roger, Blue Leader. Engage and destroy. Locked and launched. One bogey left. It's a Draco jet. Engaging.
Hornet, Stormer, Tornado, Harrier 2.
Good luck.
You're mine.
Some of you believe your system is the most advanced in the universe. Let's review the numbers. Sega Genesis is 16 bits. 3DO is 32 bits. The Atari Jaguar is 64 bits. Which is more advanced? Clifford! 16 and 32 are less than 64. So with 64 bits, 3D graphics, real-world animation, and lightning speed that you can only get with Jaguar, which is more advanced? Clifford!
Can you repeat the question?
Jaguar! Jaguar! Jaguar!
now here with Pete Curry and AJ Witten from C West, publishers of such Jaguar games as Cannon Fodder and Pinball Fantasies, which is forthcoming actually on June 9th, so look forward soon. We just have a couple questions for the guys at C West on their background and what they're looking forward to in the future. Peter, what is C West doing now, and what is their outlook on the Jaguar's future?
Well, our next title, of course, as you mentioned, is Pinball Fantasies. We have also elected to do Hyperforce. We're not sure when it's going to be out, probably three months from now or so. We're out looking for titles. Anybody who has one, we'd be more than happy to accommodate you, at least give it some consideration. We feel the Jaguar has a pretty good future, basically because of its pricing, and it does actually have a lead in the industry. And just basically, we feel good about everything.
I've sort of left AJ out of this whole conversation. Let me ask AJ, what do you do for C West?
Basically, I'm in their research and development game testing area. Pete brings me the ideas with the games. I look at them, play test them, find the errors, bugs, report back fixes, and any other suggestions I may have to improve the gameplay and playability of the games.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Is there any closing words you'd like to leave to the home audience?
Pinball Fantasies. That's the way to go.
Right, get in there. There's one thing I would like to say. You need to get into and support your independent dealers, the old Atari base, the guys that are really working hard. Get in there and pre-book your order, especially with your third-party software people. Get those orders in early. It forces the major chains, for instance, to book early, and just get out and support your dealers.
Sounds like wise words.
Introducing Alien vs. Predator for the 64-bit Atari Jaguar. You might not want to play it alone.
Mom. Mom?
This is the battle cruiser Sutherland. All other battle cruisers have been lost after investigating reports of Phoenician activity in the Perseus star cluster. We believe we have located the Phoenician homeworlds. Our mission is to seek and destroy the Phoenician menace before they start another war of conquest. Test runs on the new War Griffon infiltration fighter are complete. Delivery system is successful. Transformation systems are functional. Stand by for war.
Good luck. Shields low.
We're like Hyperimage or something.
We suck.
This is Paul, he's the creative director. I'm Jeremy, I'm the president. And this is Matthias, he's our director of art and design. And we're doing like a little expository interview.
And I'm allergic to light, by the way.
That's right, there's a lot of light, so if you see a pained expression, it's just a light.
So how'd you guys get started?
Paul, you want to take
How we got started. Alright. Once upon a time, I had a lot of money, and I wanted to do something cool with it. And I was hanging around with Jeremy at that point, and he knew all about SGIs, and I wanted to get an SGI and do freelance graphics work. And it turned out neither of us knew enough about that to do it. And then we discovered we knew video games and we could do them. Well, kind of.
So we kind of like got together in my apartment and
very small 2-bedroom apartment, by the way.
And put together a couple guys and started. We actually pulled in. I'd met Ottavio, his younger brother, before I met Paul, and so we pulled O in as a programmer, and Paul, O, and I started working on Super Nintendo stuff, and we ended up moving over to the Jaguar because it was pretty much the coolest thing out, and started writing Hover Hunter, and that's pretty much how we got started, and now we're in this wonderful house getting lots of stuff done, right?
Yeah. We get all kinds of stuff done.
So how do you like programming on the Jaguar?
Jaguar's really cool to program on. It's a lot of fun, definitely. It's a little tricky. There's not too much. A lot of people talk about the Jaguar's learning curve, and I don't know, I don't buy that. But it does. You have to definitely get used to programming multiple processors. But beyond that, it's really cool.
I think we have an advantage in that O is a freak and he loves nothing but assembly.
Anything I don't want to do, I push it off onto Paul's brother. But basically, I still think that what we're doing right now, as far as the interpolated landscapes, probably couldn't be pulled off on anything else that's currently out right now. We could definitely get really close and do other things that are completely different and arguably better or whatever. But this current interpolated landscape, the smoothness and all that stuff is pretty particular to the Jag, the way that the tri-color model works, and we're using multiple processors and all that fun stuff.
And how do you position the Jag's power versus what's coming out now? It's like the Sony and Sega.
We don't really know
Power
too much
of the
about
Jag.
them. Yeah.
That's a very political question.
I mean, does it have enough to still keep up in the generation?
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the price is going to be a good point.
With the price that there's rumors going around now of it coming down to 100, and don't take that as official for me. We don't talk to Atari enough to know these sort of things, but if the price comes down to 100 and lots of good games come out for it, the Jag absolutely has.
What's the Saturn's announced price right now? $399?
400, yeah.
Well, they're selling Super Nintendos and Jennies at 100 right now, so
yeah,
it's quite competitive there.
Yeah, cool.
So how's the current release or your current game being? Where are you at with it right now?
We're about half done right now, basically. We got the engine is locked down, networking is locked down. When I say the engine, I mean like the graphics part of the engine and the tile editors. We got all of our internal tools done. So basically what we're looking at now is enemy AI and a little bit more sound stuff, and then just a lot of design work.
Kicking in all the level designs. All the structure is there to support the levels, and a lot of design has been done, but it has to actually happen now and get together.
And as Matthias will tell you, it's a lot more than just beyond putting together the levels. We still have all the dynamics of play to put together. Just
a lot has been worked with, but it's we've been learning how to do this. Like nobody's ever done this before, so we got to learn how to do it as cool, the coolest we can anyway. So we've done a lot of stuff. It's all going to be even better in the end.
What cool features are you looking to put into the game?
Well, those are interpolated landscapes, first of all, that you should explain, because anybody that wasn't at the E3 or doesn't understand
I guess basically we started out, Hover Hunter started out, originally it started out as an overhead shooter, but
for the Super Nintendo.
When we started doing Hover Hunter for the Jag, we decided to do it with height fields, which is really similar to techniques, like if you've ever seen Comanche on the PC or in other games like Cyber Race on the PC. Height fields are basically a big. If you've ever seen like F-Zero on the Super Nintendo, it's like F-Zero with heights. So basically you've just got a lot of rectangular prisms that are like a nice smooth landscape. But the problem is, I guess I'm still
it's essentially one big flat texture map, But instead of being a flat texture map, each pixel has its own height value also, so it can be a certain height off of the floor of the texture map. And that way you can set every single pixel on the landscape to have a different height, so that you can have perfectly smooth, fully textured.
And the problem with it is
landscapes.
that we found
Not
was
smooth.
it's not that smooth when you get up close to it. If you get up close to it, it's like if you look in Doom or anything like that, where you have a relatively real-time texture map environment. You get up close and you've got big
pixels get
big
really
nasty
big.
pixels. So Otavio implemented interpolated height fields, which basically instead of blowing up the pixels really big, we just do like it's basically like a real-time blur or interpolation or anti-aliasing or whatever you want to call it.
Makes it look like Garo shading.
Yeah, so basically we pull off a really nice, completely smooth, we can keep zooming in on it, keep getting close to it, and you just won't see any kind of pixelation, which is really cool. And we just pulled that off about, I'd say 2 days before the E3. So if you see any current footage of Hover Hunter, unfortunately a lot of the landscapes haven't been designed to take advantage of this.
Yeah, all the landscapes were designed, all the landscapes were in evolution because we're trying to learn how to make them look as good as we can, and it was all an evolution for the old height field technique. The interpolation brings in a new set of problems, and so we got lucky in that one landscape looked really good and the other one just looked really bad.
But he's working on it, right?
I'm working on it.
Cool.
All the landscapes are Matthias's fault. He's done all the landscapes so far.
And how's the game going to play? Is it a simulator more? You want it to be more realistic than like a hover strike?
I think it's kind of...
It's a simulation.
Yeah, we're running this version.
It's hybrid.
It'll be a fun
it's a simulation, but it's action-based. It's like a simulation because you don't run around and collect power-ups and happy faces and invincibility bonuses. Okay, so it's realistic in that sense. But it's not going to be like you wander around for half an hour, get a lock on something, and shoot and fly home. It's action-based, run around, blow everything up.
We don't want you to have to look for the bad guys in terms of having to look for something to do. The game should be constantly moving. We're trying to set it to be a fast-paced kind of action game.
Like Doom, Cyber Sled, and Wing Commander.
Oh, there you go. There's the influence list.
Frame rate is a high priority.
Oh, absolutely.
Anything that even hopes to have fast action has to keep up a decent frame rate.
Yep.
Absolutely agree.
And that's the main thing we're designing. Now, the basic premise behind the Hover Hunter and the whole interface and what you're doing in the game is the hovercrafts don't have any windows or anything. That would be kind of a stupid idea. It's entirely armored. There's sensors and stuff that give you your view of the outside world, and you're wearing a helmet that has a visor that projects you on the inside. So it works with the whole VR concept, and we saw the new Jag VR set up at the E3, and we're definitely supporting that.
Yeah,
very nice.
Very much like that. But yeah, I guess the idea we're shooting for, one of the things we're tossing around right now is that what you see on your TV is your heads-up display, is your monitor. It's not, you don't see any goofy cockpit graphics around the edge. That is your monitor. You could build your fort around your...
You could build yourself a home cockpit for Hover Hunter and be completely immersed in the environment.
Or you could put it on your Jaguar VR setup and not have a goofy little cockpit floating around.
So I guess that's the idea behind the way we wanted to do that.
What about the networking? Because I guess we
Oh, yeah.
talk too much. Because that's really
Network games are
important.
it. Network games are the
Absolutely.
future. Anybody who's played 4-player network Doom death matches knows that, and that's one of the main reasons I'm in it, is to make fun networkable games that you can play against other people, because playing against the computer just gets boring after a while, no matter how good the computer is or how much fun it is.
Sure. So basically, right now we've got head-to-head networking working pretty stably. Unfortunately, I broke it a little bit for the E3, but I mean, we had anybody who was at the E3. If you mentioned networking, I gave you a demo of the cool little head-to-head action. But basically, we're going to be going for a cooperative kind of mode where you get to blow the crap out of your friends. And beyond that, and beyond that, we're really that's the kind of networking stuff we're supporting. We're currently supporting the JagLink, which is just a head-to-head link-up cable that's going to be coming out from Atari sometime in the future. Catnet, we're 100% supporting. RS-232 with the cat box, we're supporting. Right now, there's no plans to support the voice modem or Haze modems, but if we get enough feedback on that.
And while we'd like to make the game as cool as possible, we'd also like to get it out before next Christmas.
Yeah. Speaking of the release date, we're currently shooting for a real late summer release right now. So hopefully we'll have that sucker out as soon as possible. But definitely we're going to pull the game and have it go a little bit longer if it needs.
We're not going to rush it. We're not going to spit it out real quick. If we're down to the wire and we want to meet a deadline, we're going to make sure the game is cool before we get it out.
Yeah, but I don't think it'll be a problem.
Oh, and the 2 meg cart thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
We're keeping it down to a 2 meg cart for price reasons.
For you, the consumer.
That's right, we want this thing to be damn
We're in
cheap.
it for you.
That's about it.
Great. Well, I'm sure AEO and all of its viewers really appreciate your efforts, and hopefully we'll see some really great games coming out soon.
Cool.
Yep.
Later.